Welcome to the Whisky Business Podcast, where we dive into the rich and fascinating world of whisky and the equally complex landscape of business. I'm your host, Ash Playstead, here to guide you through conversations that blend the culture and enjoyment of great whisky with the craft of building lasting business success. Each episode will be an exploration of the subtle connections between the smooth complexities of a fine dram and the strategic decisions that shape thriving enterprises. So pour yourself a glass, settle in, and join us as we discover how passion and precision make all the difference in both whisky and business. Hello. Ash Playstead here, your host of the Whisky Business Show. I believe we're up to episode 13, but who knows? It could be 12, it could be 14. Let's go with episode 13. I hope you're well, wherever you are. Got an interesting diversion today with the whisky I want to talk about and the connection to the world of business and mortgage broking. So without any further ado, let's have a look at the whisky. So hopefully you can see that. Finn Thomson. This is from Finn Thomson Whisky, their private cask collection. This is a 9-year-old ruby port-aged whisky at 55.1% ABV, distilled at Blair Athol. So let's have a little bit of a talk about Finn Thomson. So the reason I've highlighted this one, I bought this whisky. It was actually the first whisky I bought on my trip to Scotland last year on the Golden Mile in Edinburgh. This was recommended to me by the local bottle shop. Wasn't really sure what I was buying, but I took him on his word amongst all the whiskies, and it's made its way home with me. I can't speak to its taste because I still haven't opened it yet. Not sure when I will. Hopefully I'll open it soon and actually get to speak to the flavour of the whisky. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the fact that Finn Thomson is not a name that I think anybody or many people will have heard of. It is not a distillery. Finn Thomson is a brand. I would liken Finn Thomson to a mortgage broker in the sense of Finn Thomson don't sell or distill, I should say, their own whisky. Finn Thomson is the 9th generation of the Thomson family that dates back into the 1700s in Scotland. If you go to his website, Finn Thomson, that's FINNTHOMSON.com, have a read up about the heritage of the Thomson family going back 300 years and 9 generations, filled with interesting stories and tales. And they had grocery stores, they had distilleries, they sold wine, they did all sorts of things. But they never actually did a lot of their own distilling, a little bit over the years, but not a lot. Didn't become a well-known distillery. What they were more were merchants. So not long ago, Finn Thomson, who's as I said, the 9th generation, started reselling whiskies that they had sourced, bought, and aged from other distilleries. So you'll find when you look into Finn Thomson, they sell fantastic whiskies, and some of their whiskies sell for many thousands of pounds, so many thousands of dollars. This one here is about $120 I paid for that bottle. They sell whiskies that are aged at other distilleries. So they will go and buy the casks, age them, and then Finn Thomson, as the master distiller or the master agent, will decide when the time is right to put them to the market. So Finn Thomson have a very good reputation of selling fantastic, mainly single malt whiskies, but some blended whiskies. So to me, that's really interesting. And it's worth highlighting that you don't have to be a well-known brand to be successful. I've spoken a lot in the past about some of the very well-known Scottish brands, which I love, whether they be from Islay, from Speyside, from the Highlands. There's a lot of fantastic storied whisky distillery brands in Scotland. There's about 130 to 150 different distilleries. But Finn Thomson stands alone as a distributor or a mortgage broker or what I might even call a whisky broker. So how does this relate to business and the broking industry? Well, I think You don't have to have the product to sell. And I think that's essentially what we do in mortgage broking. We don't sell a product. We sell an experience, a solution, an outcome. We sell peace of mind, certainty, trust in a very uncertain and stressful time for most people taking on a largish mortgage to buy property. So I think it's really worth contemplating and reflecting on that. We don't actually sell a product. We sell other people's products. Doesn't matter which bank, which lender it might happen to be, you'll pick whichever one is, least unsuitable, or more appropriately said, most suitable for your clients. All good mortgage brokers do that and do that extremely well. Currently, our market share is at 75% and continuing to grow. So what we do clearly works. So that's what we do as mortgage brokers. We don't win the trust and custom of our clients by resting on the brand that we're selling. You don't win the client's business because you say, oh, I'm going to get you a Commonwealth Bank or a Westpac or an ANZ or a Macquarie Bank loan. That doesn't really mean a lot to the client, even though they might recognise and have some attachment to those brands. They really trust your expertise and your ability to obtain the solution in the fastest, least stressful, most efficient, most cost-effective manner. So that's really what Finn Thomson are doing in the whisky industry, and that's really what great mortgage brokers do here in Australia, is they match people to the right product and act as the intermediary between that product and the consumer. And in Finn Thomson's case, of course, they recognise the brand. So you might see here, it says Blair Athol, but if you go to Finn Thomson's website, you'll see quite a vast collection of whiskies from certainly a large selection of the very well-known distilleries where they've bought casks, aged them, and then resold them under their own brand, but they always recognise the source of the whiskey. Much as a mortgage broker might recognise the source of the mortgage, all of your documents, your branding, your website, all of those things, that's yours. That's your proprietary brand, your reputation, your market position. And Finn Thomson is very, very similar. So I think there's a really strong correlation between Finn Thomson Whisky and mortgage broking in what they do and what we do. Go check out Finn Thomson's website. As I said, finnthomson.com. Have a good look around. Great website, great story, great heritage. Worth getting your hands on a bottle. One of these days, I'll actually taste this bottle, and I'll come back and do part 2 of this episode, speaking about how much I enjoy the whisky, which is described, shall I say, as raspberry jam in a bottle. And I'm a big fan of raspberry jam. That sounds good to me. I'll see you on the next episode of the Whisky Business Show.